Greetings, adventurers of the realm, and welcome to Swordplay and Sorcery in 2024. And speaking of 2024, you know what that means. Here are 5 TTRPGs I'm looking forward to in 2024. Let's start by getting the bonus one out of the way. Little special placement, the one that kind of goes without saying, but we're gonna address the elephant in the room. That elephant being Dungeons Dragons 2024, or Dungeons Dragons 5th edition 2024. I still have no idea what we're calling it, and the community has no idea what we're calling it. This one gets an honorable mention because I still very much enjoy playing Dungeons & Dragons. 2023 was a very rough year for fans of Dungeons & Dragons, but just because I don't want to really support the company financially doesn't mean I don't want to still play the game with my friends. We all know the rules, we all know the classes, we're all looking forward to the next edition. I just hope it's good. I was kind of hoping that they were going to lean more into slightly a new edition kind of route, like the early playtest suggested, but all of those bold new ideas that would have really made it distinct from the initial 5th edition release, they've kind of backtracked on, so it's kind of, you're kind of going to be paying for a $70 DLC update. But with Dungeons & Dragons out of the way, let's go to my number 5 spot, the Stormlight RPG. From what I was able to gather, the Stormlight RPG will be releasing the PDF versions in 2024, and they're going for a hardcover release in 2025. So technically, it comes out this year. While I haven't read these books, it's really hard to ignore the fact that these are very wildly popular and influential books, especially in the fantasy community. I personally wouldn't be as hyped about this, but the Brandon Sanderson fans are making me hyped about this. So the Stormlight RPG is going to be a D20 system. It's going to utilize a lot of the same mechanics that we're familiar with as Dungeons & Dragons and Pathfinder fans. But there's a really interesting asterisk to that. This system is going to be using what they are dubbing a plot die. It's going to be a custom D6. And this plot die you're going to be able to utilize in very specific scenarios that might either grant you a boost in the narrative or add complications. As someone who loves to tell stories in a collaborative setting with players, this sounds really exciting. I know this isn't a revolutionary mechanic, but nonetheless, I'm very excited for it. Next up, I have no idea what this means. I only have theories about what this could mean, but it has a skill-based magic system. Again, no idea what that means, but that sounds so dope. And finally, character creation sounds really unique. You don't just have a class. When you level up, you have a character path. I haven't played an RPG that has that, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how it actually plays out. Number 4 is the one that the world is excited about, and I'm semi-excited about, Tales of the Valiant. Now, when Project Black Flag was initially announced, I was very excited. I love Kobold Press, I love the things that they put out, mostly, and I was really looking forward to seeing what kind of RPG system that they were going to build. One aspect of this game that has kind of let me down is just how similar it is to 5th edition. Like, it basically is 5th edition with a little bit of 4th edition rules sprinkled here and there. But yeah, if you straight up don't want to play Dungeons & Dragons anymore because of all of the WotC and Hasbro scandals, Tales of the Valiant, it's for you. It literally is just D&D 5th edition with some slight differences. Also, it will have its own character creator on Demiplane, which, by the way, Demiplane rocks. In 3rd place, Critical Role's Daggerheart. When this was first announced, I was very excited. And then we started seeing some of the mechanics of Daggerheart, and they hit us with the right hook out of nowhere. No, it is not a D20 system. It is a 2D12 system. It's not often that you see a game use a D12. Like, even in Dungeons & Dragons, you rarely use the D12. I get it's with some of the big hitting weapons, that's about it. So each of these D12s are basically gonna represent a different thing. One represents fear and the other represents hope. My understanding of it is you roll to meet a DC by adding up the totals of the two, but whichever one of those dies roll higher determines what kind of success or failure you have. So if you succeed with the hope die, obviously great things happen. If you succeed with the fear die, it's more of a you succeed, but this kind of bad thing happens. Another unique aspect of the Daggerheart RPG is that it's going to be using cards. I love that. When I was trying to figure out what making a game looks like, that's one of the things I wanted to implement. I was like, okay, what if you could have D&D mixed with some of the Magic the Gathering kind of card sets? Daggerheart does that. It's just a D12 system. So you have cards that represent your classes and your ancestries. I think they're called ancestries. In second place, Indestructaboy's Vagabond. This is one that I've come across recently, and I have been obsessed with it. One of the things that really drew me to this was the fact that when you're building your character sheet, most of the DCs are going to be on your character sheet. Now I know others do that, but like the fact that this isn't a widely used thing kind of baffles me. Vagabond is aiming for a May 2024 digital PDF release date, and then they're wanting to get their hardcovers out by 2025. Another sick detail I love about the Vagabond system is if you're using ranged weapons, you can change your damage die. That is awesome. You don't have a set damage because of the bow that you use. You have different types of damage based on the ammunition that you utilize. That's genius. And finally, my number one spot, the MCDM RPG. When I first started becoming a dungeon master back in 2019, Matt Colville's videos were essential for that dungeon master growth. Not to mention, MCDM, they release tons of incredible books. So they're gonna be utilizing a 2d6 system. And one of the really cool things about this TTRPG, there is no roll to hit. If you attack, you just do damage. How much damage someone takes depends on the armor. That's freaking awesome. No more wasting your turn of doing all these cool abilities, spending all these points, and then going, oh, I still don't do anything on my turn. That's brilliant. I love that. Another thing I'm really looking forward to is their negotiation system. I don't know much about it, but one of the few pieces I do know is that there's going to be a patience mechanic built into NPCs. So there's only a certain number of tries that you can negotiate with an NPC before they run out of patience. That's freaking awesome. I love that. I'd also like to mention another bonus RPG. This one I kind of already play, so it's not really a release I'm waiting for. I'm looking forward to the full release, but it's one that I'm currently in the middle of playtesting, and that is the Dungeon Coaches DC20. It is a perfect love child between Dungeons Dragons and Pathfinder. It's a D20 based system, and in combat you get 4 action points. You can spend them all to do movements, attacks, add damage, give yourself advantage. They reset after your turn. You can spend them when you're not on your turn. It's awesome. I love DC20. I love the Dungeon Coach. That community is awesome. That Discord is perfection. So yeah, I know that this was a more choppy video, more kind of all over the place video, but I really just wanted to talk to somebody, just throw out there, these are what I'm looking forward to. I cannot wait to make videos about these things. If you're into mechanics yourself, you should check out this video right here. I'm trying to figure out how game design works. If I missed any RPGs that you're excited about that are releasing in 2024, comment down below, let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.